Celebrities often face disrespectful interviewers during press events. Sometimes these encounters become so uncomfortable that stars feel they have no choice but to stand up for themselves, like Tom Hardy. Known for his intense roles, Hardy showed he's just as fierce off-screen. During a press conference for his film Legend, a reporter asked an invasive question about his sexuality. Hardy shut it down immediately, calling the question inelegant and humiliating. He made it clear that his personal life was off-limits, especially in a public forum.
What on earth are you on about?
I was referring to an interview given to Attitude magazine a few years ago.
But what is your question?
I was wondering if you find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality.
I don't find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality. Are you asking me about my sexuality?
Sure.
Why? Thank you.
Speaking of uncomfortable interviews, who can forget Robert Downey's infamous walkout? While promoting Avengers: Age of Ultron, a reporter kept pushing questions about Downey's troubled past. The Iron Man star wasn't having it. He abruptly ended the interview, later calling the journalist a bottom-feeding muckraker. Talk about putting someone in their place.
The statement sort of stands by itself, doesn't it? I mean, does that mean you're not a liberal, or that you came out of prison not being a liberal?
Are we promoting a movie? To me, the thing is that I'm certainly not going to backpedal on anything I've said, but I wouldn't say I'm a Republican or a liberal or a Democrat. I think when I was talking to the person who was doing the interview that day, and that just happened to be my opinion. That's the nice thing, is you can have opinions and they kind of change and flow.
Yeah, well, that's life and that's growing older, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you say we're promoting an interview. I mean, promoting the movie. I mean, obviously you're doing a promotional round of interviews, and that's why we're talking about the movie. But we also would like to talk a little bit about you, and I don't know how comfortable you are, talking about yourself at the moment.
You have as much time as anyone else will.
Yeah, well, okay, well then let me just ask you a few more questions, and you can answer them if you want to and not if you don't want to. I mean,
so you've got this much left anyway.
Well, I think we've got 3 more minutes on our agreement.
Your foot's starting to jump a little bit. You better get to your next question.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in the dark periods you entered, and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you guys.
are you? I'm sorry.
Take your mic.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
Do you?
You seem okay. It's just getting a little dinosaur in your.
No. Look, I don't want to do that.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Mel Gibson. Now, Gibson's had his fair share of controversies, but he's also been on the receiving end of some pretty intense questioning. During a 2010 interview with Dean Richards, the reporter brought up Gibson's past scandals. Gibson, clearly irritated, muttered, "Bye-bye," and an expletive as the interview ended. It's a prime example of how past controversies can haunt celebrities long after the fact.
Do you think that the public will perceive you any differently after all that's been in the news about you?
What are you referring to specifically?
Referring to the drinking problems, referring to what's been called the anti-Semitic rant, referring all those things. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so that's almost 4 years ago, dude. I mean, I've moved on. I guess you haven't.
Well,
So
I'm just wondering if you think that the public has moved on and will perceive you in the same light.
Well, I certainly hope so. You know, it is a while back, and I've done all the necessary mea culpas. So, let's move on, dude. Come on.
Edge of Darkness opens today. It's good to see you back in the saddle and doing what you do best. Thanks a lot for joining us, Mel. Take care.
Bye-bye. Asshole.
But perhaps one of the most memorable celebrity interviewer clashes involves Mariah Carey on The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Back in 2008, Ellen practically forced Mariah to reveal her pregnancy by offering her champagne. Mariah, visibly uncomfortable, tried to dodge the situation. Sadly, she miscarried shortly after. Years later, Mariah spoke about how extremely uncomfortable that moment was. It's a stark reminder of how seemingly playful TV moments can have serious real-world consequences.
And then the other thing is that people are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to.
No,
answer.
that's okay. No, honestly,
you
how
don't
do
have to
I-
answer me. Let's just toast with champagne and decide.
But
if,
they've been saying that since we. Oh, I can have some champagne. It's just fattening. So,
you can't have champagne.
That's not champagne because you can't.
No, it
have
is.
Is it really?
Yeah. You want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? No.
Are you trying
I'm
to
not
just-
going to ask you if you're pregnant
This
or not.
is
I'm
peer
just going to
pressure. Do
say.
you see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure.
No. Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we
Oh
should.
my goodness. I can't believe her. Why would we toast to that? How about to the future?
Yeah, you can
and
really-
for both of our futures, who knows what they hold?
Who knows? All right, go ahead.
Okay, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
It's too early for me. I
Yeah.
only drink it after 3 p.m.
Yeah. You're pregnant. You're pregnant. You
I
are
didn't say
pregnant.
that.
Speaking of Ellen, her show has been the site of several awkward celebrity encounters. Remember when Dakota Johnson called Ellen out for not coming to her birthday party? That clip went viral, with Dakota firmly but politely correcting Ellen's claim that she wasn't invited. It was a moment that had viewers cheering for Dakota's composure under pressure.
Happy belated birthday. When was your birthday?
It was October 4th.
October 4th. You turned 30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Well, who doesn't want to be invited to a party?
Well, I didn't even know you liked me.
Of course I like you. You knew I liked you. You've been on the show many times, and don't I show like?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But I did invite you and you didn't come. So,
This time you invited me?
yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody. Ask Jonathan, your producer. Who
Okay.
said you were?
I
Yeah,
was
he's right
invited?
there.
Why didn't I go?
I don't know.
Was it? Oh yeah, I had that thing. It was probably in Malibu. That's too far for me to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. No, I think I do remember I was invited. Thank you.
You're welcome.